Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to do my very first celebrity chart reading on my own channel. And this chart reading I'm going to do, I've been wanting to do for a very long time. This person is very, very special to me personally, but to the world. You know, she has a lot of big fans and she really touched a lot of people's hearts in more ways than one. Today is January 16th as I'm filming this, and it is the birthday of Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah was born January 16th, 1979 at 8:43 a.m. And Aaliyah's name means the highest, most exalted one, the best. That name really is fitting for her based on what she's achieved and accomplished in the short 22 years that she lived here on this earth. So I'm really excited to do this chart reading, but also it's a little bit bittersweet because I am a huge fan. I have been since, you know, she first came out. She and I are very close in age, so we had a very similar style, and just her music, when I listen to it, it does capture, you know, a lot of memories that I have of that time, and she is truly missed by everybody. I listen to her music, I see her interviews, I still get kind of teared up and emotional because she's missed very much. Now, Aaliyah was born with her sun in Capricorn, and Mars in Capricorn also conjunct the sun. She was born with Venus in Sagittarius, with Mercury in Capricorn, and her ascendant sign is Aquarius. Aquarius ascendant people, wow, they're like some of the most unique people on this planet. Aquarius is that sign. The energy of Aquarius is like mad scientist slash, you know, innovator slash inventor slash, I don't know, they're just very unique people. Aaliyah's style, the style of clothes that she wore, was always out of the box. And even though when I see her fashion, it does take me back to the eras of the 90s, also the early 2000s, she really did have her own unique style. Aquarius people, whether they're born under Aquarius through the sun, their rising, or any other planet or placement, they are very unique. They are very innovative. They don't want to be looked at as average. You could see that in her sense of fashion and style. Today I'm wearing these earrings that actually one of my best friends, who is also an Aquarius ascendant, bought me. They're very long and they have like this necklace in the middle connecting them. They're very, very unique. This is stuff that Aaliyah, she wore this kind of fashion and kind of style, and you know, I have a similar style to her. Like I said, we are kind of close in age, and also I have Uranus, the ruling planet of Aquarius, in my first house of the self and the body. So my appearance is very Aquarian in a lot of ways. I can relate to her sense of fashion and not wanting to look like the average. She loved the color black. She always wore black all the time. Capricorns love wearing black. Capricorn and Scorpio are like the #1 signs that love to wear a lot of black. So that's why, you know, I'm wearing black today in her honor. It's not like always a depressing color. It's a color of Capricorn along with Scorpio. They don't like to show their full identity to people. They don't like to be so emotionally demonstrative and have everybody see them for who they really are unless they trust you. So that's why Capricorn is one of those signs that likes to wear black. It's a mysterious color. She had an aura of mysteriousness to her. Now, with her sun and Mars being in the 12th house, the 12th house correlates with the sign of Pisces and the planet of Neptune. Those energies are very mysterious. You know, they are hidden. The 12th house is considered like a hidden house, where things go to kind of hide away from being, you know, seen by the outside world and dealing with the outside world. Aaliyah was very much a homebody. Believe it or not, you know, as bright as she shined out into the world with her big radiant smile and her sunny personality, she was a very calm, quiet, homebody person. Her favorite things to do when she would go home and relax, you know, after a lot of hard days work or being on tour or whatever. All she wanted to do was go home and watch movies. I mean, the 12th house is a house of like escapism and fantasy. So watching movies was like a really big favorite pastime of hers. And also just taking a long bath with some good music. I mean, that's so 12th house right there, because it's a water energy house. With her Venus being in Sagittarius, when you see Sagittarians, I mean, you'll probably hear me mention this 1,000 times. Sagittarians always have the biggest, brightest smiles. If you know a Sagittarian that doesn't smile very much, they probably have other energies in their chart that overtake the Sagittarian energy. But for the most part, when you see Sagittarians, when you see somebody that has like this big radiant smile, like nothing in the world can go wrong and everything is just so right and they're just so happy and content with everything, they usually have Sagittarian energy in their chart somehow, some way. Aaliyah had Venus in Sagittarius and it was exactly conjunct her midheaven. Her midheaven is at 8 degrees Sagittarius and Venus is right there. So the world sees her as this Venusian goddess, and that's still true to this day. She is still very cherished and remembered even 15 years after her passing. Venus being on the midheaven rules your career. So Venus rules music, art, beauty, and it only makes sense that she has Venus in conjunction with that point in her chart. She always says, you know what? It's so good to wake up every morning and get up and work, but work doing what you love. Enjoy your work and just do something that you absolutely love. That's the best feeling in the world, and there's nothing better than that. She said that countless times in her interviews. Since the 12th house is an energy that is all about fantasy and escaping reality, and the 12th house energy, you know, similar to Pisces and Neptune, it's water. It's the deepest water in the zodiac. So they can morph into another person if they wanted to. That's why Aaliyah, once she stepped into acting, it was very easy for her to do. She said it was very easy to just become this other person and really live out that character. That's why acting, you know, was always something that was very appealing to her from a very young age. And it would have been nice to see her as Z in The Matrix. I think she would have done a fantastic job. Aaliyah also had Neptune and Sagittarius in her 10th house of career. What that tells you is, in her career, she had to do something that was very Neptunian. She could not have an average everyday 9-to-5 job. Oh no, not this lady. She had to do something that was on her own time and on her own terms and was very creative and giving back to the world in some sort of way. This was a very compassionate woman, especially with her Sun and Mars in the 12th house and then Neptune in the 10th house. When Neptune is in the 10th house, the Neptune energy is like, you know, it is illusion and fantasy, and people see you in this light, this like, wow, this person is like some sort of god or goddess or something, and you look at them in awe. To this day, Aaliyah's image is still everywhere, and she is still looked at as being this person who was this like outer worldly, you know, goddess in a way. And Neptune paired with Venus in her 10th house, man, I don't really hear very many negative things about her. She was a very private person with that 12th house energy. She always said in interviews, you know what? It's great that fame comes along with what I do, and everybody feels like, you know, your life should be public and they want to know everything about you, and that's cool. I understand that. However, there's still parts of yourself that you need to keep for you and you only. So especially when it came to relationships, she did not like to discuss her private life. That's something that she kept private, although little bits of information about her relationship and her love life did leak out. I'm not going to get into the whole R. Kelly scandal because I am not here to talk about scandals with baby girl, okay? I love her too much to do that. But she was also famously known for dating Damon Dash. Damon Dash was a Rockefeller music mogul. He's an interesting character. He's a Taurus, I think he has some planets in Aries too, from what I remember. And he has a moon in Leo. So he is a very super masculine guy. He has a sense of arrogance. I think he knows that. It's safe to honestly say that. He's an arrogant guy. But see, Aaliyah, her being very sweet, very calm, classy and everything, and ending up with this brash, like, you know, arrogant guy. I myself at that time was like, really? What does she see in this guy? But you got to remember, Aquarius risings, their 7th house cusp, which rules relationships, who they are attracted to within relationships. It's just one of the indicators of that. Her 7th house cusp is in Leo. And Damon Dash, you know, with his Leo moon, he did fit into the categories of what she was looking for in a man. She said in an interview, the perfect guy for me, he knows what he wants out of life. And he is funny and intelligent, and, you know, he really goes for what he wants. And Leo moons, that's exactly what they do. They know what they want and they go after it. So that's why he did seem to be like a good match for her, even though to the naked eye it was like, what do you see in this guy? He's kind of an a-hole. But to her, he's like, oh my gosh, like he does, you know, fit into what I'm looking for in somebody in order to be in a serious relationship with them. Her moon sign is Virgo. It's at 1 degree Virgo in her 7th house. Virgo moon people are workaholics and perfectionists, and you will hear her say that numerous times in countless interviews, how much of a workaholic and perfectionist she is. But she does love what she does, so she really didn't mind putting in all of that hard work to make things perfect. She has Jupiter in the 6th house of her chart. The 6th house rules like your work environment, the daily work duties that you do. And if Jupiter's there, Jupiter is like expansion, but it's also like optimism. You know, it's really having faith in things and enjoying, really truly enjoying things. And she really truly enjoyed the work that she did. Her Jupiter is in Leo, and Leo in the 6th house, people, Leo rules the spotlight. It rules like being in the public eye and being appreciated, and it rules being creative in what you do. So what she did for a living had to be something creative based on that Jupiter placement in Leo. Virgo moon people, they also are like sarcastic and love comedy, and you know, that paired with her Venus and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is another sign that really loves to laugh, and she said that all the time. I really love to laugh and just be silly and have a good time. So she really enjoyed like a bit of comedy. And if you see footage of her and the people that she worked with, I mean, it was just like some silly fun all the time. It wasn't always even about work. It looked like just a lot of fun and goofing around and joking around. So she really did love what she did. And Jupiter in the 6th and Venus in the 10th, that really makes for somebody who has to do what they love. And she really did love what she did. Neptune was also in her 10th house in Sagittarius. So with Neptune in the 10th house, not only was the way that the world sees her, which is what the 10th house rules, fantasized way, you know, to where she's like, oh my gosh, she's just perfect, this perfect goddess-like being. It's creativity, and it is doing things on your own terms and not really caring about any boundaries. So that's how she was in her career, is not caring about the boundaries. You know, she remained very grounded because she has her Virgo moon, which is an earth sign, and she has her Capricorn sun, but also the Neptune energy. It really brought just doing what you want to do, you know, in your career, and just being highly creative and intuitive, and whatever you put out there, people are going to love. They're going to look at it like, oh, it's the best thing ever. And that really did play out for her. You know, I hardly ever hear, besides the R. Kelly rumors, which I'm not going to get into, I hardly ever heard any like terrible rumors about Aaliyah. You know, I've always heard of her being like a very sweet person, you know, a very sweet individual. And if you have your moon in the 7th house, that's how others see you as well. Others are going to see you as a very sweet and nurturing and caring person, which is the natural qualities of the moon. So that is how, you know, how she came out to the public, you know, how the public sees her. But there's also an air and an aura of mystery around her. And I think she really thrived on that. She really enjoyed having that mysterious persona. And that does come with the territory of having energy of the 12th house and of Neptune. Neptune in the area of her chart of how the world sees her. Neptune rules illusion and like putting fog over things. So she really did kind of put a fog over who she really was. And at first, nobody knew her real age. There was rumors out there, you know. I know her record company finally came out and revealed her true age of when her album came out. She was 15 years old, barely 15, but she was so mature that even if you see video footage and interviews of her from back during that age time, you know, when she was like 15 years old, she seemed like a woman in her 20s. She's always been a very mature person. Capricorn is a sign of maturity and of old age. And in the 12th house is like associated with having a connection to the divine and old souls. People who are called old souls, they usually have planets in the 12th house or Pisces or maybe like Neptune very strong in their chart. And she did have Neptune and she had the 12th house energy. So an old soul who comes in as a wise person who seems like so beyond their years. And the fact that she had an Aquarius ascendant, Aquarius people are like the future dwellers, you know, they are beyond their time. They are like before their time and beyond their time, you know. So a lot of the music that she put out with producers like Timbaland and with Missy Elliott, two other people who are big innovators in the music industry and have a lot of Aquarian or Uranian energy in their own charts, you know, that's why when they got together to make music, it just flowed naturally. It just like, they just came up with these crazy concepts and ideas for the music, the fashion, the videos, you know, the album covers, everything was just like, wow. It was so, if you listen to her album that came out in 2001, her self-titled album, it's like, it sounds still like futuristic in a way, you know, like Aquarian energy. When these people that have it are artists and they put music out, it tends to a lot of times have a sound that's like filled with synthesizers and keyboard sounds, and they just sound like they're from like outer space. Like if outer space had sound, I'm pretty sure it sounds like beats from Timbaland or maybe Dr. Dre, you know, those people who have that heavy Aquarian influence. And Aaliyah, with her being an Aquarius rising, she really fit into that innovative category when it came to the art and the music that she put out. Aquarian people, they always come off as being very cool and calm and collective. And the reason why is because the Aquarius person, they see things from like a very high perspective, very high point of view that's like detached. They detach themselves from like earthly things, like feeling emotions, you know, they detach from all of that and they look at a situation with logic and intelligence instead of just based on how they feel, you know. So that's why they tend to have this kind of a smug look on their face, you know. So that's why she always had this expression of just like, yeah, you know, everything is cool and calm in the world and everything is cool, you know. When she wasn't having that expression due to her Aquarius ascendant and her Capricorn sun, you would see her smiling, a huge smile, and laughing a lot and being very silly due to her Venus in Sagittarius. The Sagittarian motto is just enjoy life. Just enjoy life and just be happy and be optimistic and have faith that everything will be okay tomorrow. You know, you don't have to worry about tomorrow today. Although she was a future dwelling Aquarius, she just liked to have those moments when she wasn't working of just being plain fun and silly with her friends or whomever and just laughing for hours, watching comedy or, you know, just having a good time. Aaliyah said that she feels like she has some sort of connection to ancient Egypt, and she had her apartment decorated with like Egyptian rugs, Egyptian art, Egyptian, you know, paintings and decorations. She just felt the strong connection to that era, you know. And I looked up some asteroids to see if they can point to why she felt such a connection, see if they have any significant placement for her. There are some asteroids named after Egyptian gods and goddesses, and she did have some in significant places. She has the asteroid named Cleopatra, Cleopatra with the letter K, in conjunction with her Venus and her midheaven. And yes, we definitely see her as like a beautiful Cleopatra-like goddess figure. If you look at her video for Try Again, with Jet Li in it, she has these scenes where she has this makeup that looks like Egyptian goddess makeup, and it's so beautiful. I love that makeup. I've always been like, oh, I want to recreate that look one day. It's so pretty. She also has, in conjunction with her Neptune in the 10th house, I hope I'm pronouncing these correctly, but the asteroids Nephthys and also Anubis, which are ancient Egyptian figures. And she has the asteroid, again, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but Hathor or Hathor, the goddess of beauty and love and joy and music and art and dance, and called the goddess of the sky. She has that in conjunction with her ascendant within 2 degrees, so it really is a tight conjunction. So she does exude that goddess energy from that Egyptian goddess as well. So that could be where the connection comes from that she feels to that culture. And it's also adding, along with Neptune and Venus being in her 10th house, of why we look at her as like this timeless like goddess figure that will live on forever. She also has the asteroid named Angel in her 7th house at 25 degrees Virgo. Her sun in Capricorn is at 25 degrees as well. With those both being in earth signs, the Angel asteroid makes an exact trine aspect to her sun, and we do see her shine like an angel here on earth. That's how she's described by many people, as being an angel here on earth. Seeing the asteroid placement really makes sense of that. Aaliyah was asked once in an interview if she wasn't doing what she was doing, you know, music and movies and everything and being famous, what would she do as a career? She said she'd more than likely be a teacher, either a teacher of some sort, and more than likely a dance teacher. And that makes a lot of sense when you look at her chart, because her 10th house of career and her midheaven are in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign of a teacher and a philosopher, and she has Venus right on her midheaven, which is the highest point, you know, that rules your career. Venus rules like music and dance, and also Neptune in the 10th house. Neptune is also a highly creative energy, and it's just in tune with dance and music and creativity by nature. You know, it's like all about, you just act upon what you feel. That's Neptune. So she could have definitely been a great dance teacher. Aaliyah was a fantastic dancer, and that was due in part to her having Mars in her 12th house. Mars rules your action, your drive, the physical actions that you take, and being in the 12th house, the 12th house is the energy that's very similar to Pisces and Neptune, which rules the feet. And if your Mars is there, you can just go with the flow of what you hear and what you feel, and you just act upon it without thinking too much. You know, yeah, she was a Virgo moon and perfectionist, but what happens when your energy is, you have a heavy like 12th house or Neptune or Pisces energy, is you tune into this channel from this other realm, and whatever is given to you as far as feeling at the moment, you just do, and you just go, and it flows so smoothly and so nicely. So that's why she was such a dope dancer. She always said all the time that she felt truly blessed in her life. And there's a lot of people that'll say, yeah, I'm blessed, and use the word blessed and throw it around and just kind of, you know, it's just hot air, something that just to say it. I really don't think that she was saying it just to say it. I think she really felt that. And what shows that in her chart is having the sun in the 12th house, number one, because the 12th house it's a connection to the divine source of love, which a lot of people will say connection to God, you know. And if you have a planet in there like the sun, like a major power player in your chart in the 12th house, then you do have a connection. You have a need to connect to the divine source of love. Also, the sign of Sagittarius, where she has her Venus. Because of those placements, I truly believe that she did enjoy her life to the fullest and that she really truly felt blessed. To wrap up this reading for the lovely Aaliyah, overall what I would say is she really does exude this goddess-like energy that will help her to really live on forever. You know, her work will forever be appreciated. We will always look at her like she is this extraordinary being, and she really was. You don't really hear a lot of bad rumors and things about her. She was a very sweet person, and she really did put love and light out into the world. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. And baby girl, you'll live on forever in my heart, and you'll always be the older sister that I never had. Just bring